Hey everybody, I have an extreme craft room makeover to share with you today, so come on over. Okay, here we go. I'm a little horrified to even be sharing this with you, but this is what my craft room was looking like before pulling it all apart and redoing it. Crazy the amount of stuff that I have in here. As you can see, I had carpeting on the floor, which I wasn't a fan of. We've got all these shelving units, which it was great to have shelves, but they were so deep that it was hard for me to find things. And so I never really put things away properly. Obviously, I had a flower situation going on there. My ribbon, the way that I had it set up was great before I started doing videos. But then once I wanted to be able to pull it off and show what I was doing on camera, that ended up not being as functional. I had finished projects, I had supplies, I had pretty much everything just everywhere. This is not organized at all. Look at my desktop, you guys. This is my crafting table. I was getting to the point where I couldn't even craft anymore. It was so bad. I've got things on the floor. My desk and my chair were covered with things. I had started trying to put things up on the wall to get them away. It just was not functioning for me. Here's some more of the shelving units that I had attempted to use. Yeah, here's another shot at my craft table, just stuff everywhere. So I called in reinforcements. Kim and Rich came in and helped me try and put things away. This was actually way before I even had all the shelving units or I had reorganized it. I lost footage of when we pulled it apart again, but this will give you an idea of how long we've been trying to get me organized. It's been quite some time. So we were pulling everything apart, trying to get everything cleared away so that we could actually um, get ready for the container store units that Rich and I were going to be investing in, and also for the flooring that we wanted to install. And then we discovered there was a water issue. And so we started ripping up flooring, and Rich started ripping out wall because there was a little bit of mold. We were able to clean it up though. I had a contractor come and patch up the walls. You can see in the back there the extent of the walls that had to be replaced, but we got it taken care of. The flooring was on back order, so in the meantime, I started cleaning everything up and patching holes in the walls, and then I went ahead and got everything sanded down and started painting. And this is just a really light gray color. I know it probably looks white. Sammy's there helping. I know it probably looks white on camera, but it is a very light gray. It's called white pepper, and I love it. And then here is all of the container store shelving that we had invested in and the drawer units that we were putting together. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that. So here are four of them that we had already put together. Rich and I were doing it together, and they were really easy to put together. It took about 10 minutes for each unit. We had quite a number of units, so it took us a little while, but I love these, and I'm going to show you how we put them together and share a little bit more about the products themselves. But here are some of the others, and we still had some out in the garage when I was filming this, so quite a number of units. But here's Rich putting it together. Excuse my mess around the room. We were being comfortable on a Saturday morning and doing our thing here. But essentially you use a rubber mallet and you bang in the crossbars into the two sections that have the tracks for the drawer units. You do that on both sides and get those all knocked in. Very, very easy. Obviously, Rich is doing this by himself. I was doing them by myself as well. So we were each working on these, and I took a break to videotape. And then there are these little plastic feet that you push onto the feet to protect your floors. And then there are these little pins that you drop in at the back of the tracks. I'm going to show you more about that in a second, but we had to get those first two on before we put the top cross beams on, because they won't go in with the, once that top crossbar is there, you can't fit the little pin in for that top row. Hopefully that makes sense. But once we had all of that set, it was time to go ahead and put the drawers in. So here are those little pins I was talking about. And essentially, there's Sammy saying hello again, wanting to help. But essentially, you pop these in at the back of the tracks, just like so. And it keeps the drawers from being able to slide out the back end. So if you don't have it up against the wall or you don't want it banging into the wall, this stops the drawer unit from going too far through. And so then you can just slide the drawers in right along those tracks and they just glide right in. And then on the other end or the other side of each of the drawers, we have these, I call them drawer stops. I don't know if that's the technical term for them, but they hook right onto the top of the track and it prevents you from pulling the basket out too far. And these are adjustable. You can slide them right up to the front, which is what I've done. But it keeps you from pulling your drawer all the way out and dumping your contents all over the floor, which I could totally see myself doing if I didn't have those drawer stops. So once we had them all put together, I am now finishing clearing off my crafting table so that we can go ahead and build the center island that we were putting together with more of these drawer units. So essentially I was having units across the back wall. Obviously we don't have the flooring in just yet. That did come later, but I wanted to get everything in place or built so that I could continue crafting and be a little bit more organized. That was Rocky, Sammy's brother, who was visiting with us. But I'm just clearing everything away, and there's the crafting table that we're getting rid of. That's all going out to the garage. My little handmade shelving units that I was using as legs for the table, and kind of piecing together the island. Now, this was kind of a temporary fix because we were going to have to move it for the flooring to be installed, but we were excited to see it starting to come together. And this is part of the island. You'll get to see more of it. That's just the first half of it. Did end up flipping it the other direction, but super excited about that. And now showing how we installed some of the shelves. This is another place where we had already installed a bunch of them, and now I'm showing how we did it. Rich let me take a little break from helping, and he was doing this one. We pre-drilled all the holes for the top track. That we were using expansion bolts that the Container Store provided specifically for this purpose, and just screwed that all into place. If you have joists that you're able to screw into, then you don't need the expansion bolts, but you definitely need those expanders for inside the wall if you're not drilling into the joists. And then I call these the uprights. Again, not sure if that's the technical term for them, but they slide right on along the track. There's a little notch on them. You'll see that notch here a little bit better. And they just slide right onto the track. And then we'll be able to add our shelf brackets. And then there are little clips that go on the underside of the shelves that are already pre-drilled. And so they attach right into the shelf brackets. And I'm showing you that right there. These particular clips are for standalone shelves. In the other areas where I had shelves right next to each other, there was a different kind of a metal, it was kind of like a linear clip. I didn't get a picture of that, I apologize, but essentially it does the same thing, but it's just a little bit different. So here I am just putting up these shelves and showing how easy it is, how everything is marked. See, it even says front, so it's showing me which is the front, so I know exactly how to put these shelves on. And the shelves come in all different lengths. These are all modular, customizable. The Container Store actually has a complimentary design service. So when we went in to talk with them, they actually took the dimensions of my room and all of the wall space that I had, and they designed this room with my input. So they asked a lot of questions about how I work and what my ideals were, and they went ahead and made suggestions that I could agree to or ask for other solutions. And it was phenomenal. I'm so happy with how this all has been turning out. So this other area, this is where my desk was and is, putting together a utility wall. So these come in all different sizes as well. And I'm just lining this up and getting my utility wall all set and pieced together here. Now I did learn the hard way that you need to start from the bottom and work your way up, because in order to put these on, you kind of press them into those little holes and then they have to slide down to lock. Now, starting at the top and working my way down, that second piece, I wasn't able to get it to lay flush because the higher piece was in the way. Hopefully that makes sense. So before I jump right into the reveal, I do want to let you know that this is part of a playlist hosted by Teresa B. DIY, my sweet friend, and then Tammy at Happiness Created. There's a complete playlist. I hope you'll check out their channels and the playlist. All of those links are in the description box. And I just wanted to introduce Jordan real quick. This is my son, the Marine.
Hi,
everybody. He's been home for the last 10 days. If you've been following my vlog, you know about that. So I just talked him into saying hello real quick. He goes back to Cherry Point, North Carolina tomorrow.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is Jordan.
Hi.
All right, so I am re-recording this portion because when I started to watch it back, I noticed how shaky the camera was and I didn't want to make you all sick. So that's why I have a different set of clothes on, because it is a new day. But I wanted to go ahead and give you a reveal of everything in the craft room. Super excited about it, as I already mentioned, but let's go ahead and show you what all has been done. So all of this is from the Container Store. This is obviously one of my walls with the shelving, and it is going to be largely the backdrop where I have when I do tutorials and things like that. I will probably have my back to this just because it's a little bit more attractive than the other side where I've got my door going into the utility room. But this is my big island that I am absolutely in love with. And I'll come around this way and show you. Sorry about all the mess over here, you guys, because we're still getting the basement put together. Clearly, I haven't finished the painting. I still have more painting and things to do, but at least the craft room is done. But we have Sammy's little bed here for him to hang out with me. And then back to my island. I love this. Absolutely love it. I am feeling a little bit spoiled. I've worked really hard to get this, but yeah, I'm still feeling a little bit spoiled. And my sincere thanks, love, and admiration to my husband, Rich, for helping me not only put all of this together, but for his support and for him working tirelessly to help me get this. I am so grateful and thankful. But this essentially is 4 different desktops. I mentioned that this is all from the Container Store, but these are 4 desktops that we have put together to create this island on top of all of these drawer units. And the drawer units are all customizable. They are, what's the word I'm looking for? I had it last night. Now I'm trying to remember the word for modular. So you can actually put different sized drawers in here depending on your needs. So I have them set up with single deep drawers and 2 deep drawers. They also have a 3 deep drawer, which basically means it would cover 3 of the tracks. So you can see how they've got tracks all along here, and you can put your drawers in along any of these tracks and create the drawer units that are going to work best for you. So I have all of my things that I use all the time over on this side because I do intend to stand here and craft. I can actually see the television over there when I'm crafting, and so Rich can hang out, watch TV, and we can kind of be together while I'm doing my thing. But I've got all of my chalk paints in here. You guys, I actually even labeled everything. I'm highly, highly impressed with myself because I never in my life thought I would actually label all of my drawers. But I love these because they are semi see-through, so I can see what's in there in addition to the labels. And that's just going to help me out because, as you know, if you follow me, I have a tendency to buy things again and again if I can't remember that I already have them or if I can't find them. But I've got all my glues in here. I have a lot of, who needs so many glues? I don't know what's up with that, but I've got a ton of glue. I've got my wires and more glue. My tape is all in here with some extra paper towels and garbage bags. I have my extra parchment paper. Here I have my kind of Mod Podge of rope and raffia and twine and odds and ends of things that I've kind of pulled off of other projects. Yarn and twine here. I have all of my acrylic paints here. These are all of my fabric paints, my outdoor paints, my indoor paints, and then I have my plaid and folk art. So these are all my Arteza, and then my plaid and my folk art paints. I have all of my paint markers, my watercolors, other paint, my wax. I mentioned the chalk paint. I've got all of my little hand tools close at hand here. All my Cricut little supplies and just different little things that I tend to use on a regular basis. And then these are all ribbon. I have tons and tons and tons of ribbon. And you can see, as I showed earlier, you know, I've got my drawer stops, so I can pull my drawer out, but it's not gonna come all the way out on me and fall and crash to the floor. So I know Teresa B has a ton of ribbon. I might be giving her a run for her money here. I'm not really sure, but these are all ribbon, and I love that they are so close at hand and easy to grab and do what I want, and then I can just drop it right back in there when I'm done. And here I've got some of these little organization things. These are also from the Container Store. They drop right into my drawers. I can take it out if I decide I don't want it anymore. But I've got some of my little containers for using extra paint that I might mix. These I've been really impressed with. They're from the Dollar Tree. I think they came in a pack of 6 maybe. I can't remember. But they are airtight. And I was not expecting them to keep the paint for very long, but so far, so good. I've got my sanding blocks, my little protective eye covers for my X tool, just some extra scissors and odds and ends. I've got all my glitter in this drawer. I have my mica powder and my clay, my things to use with clay. Got some of my little rolling brushes. I'm not sure why those are in here, my foam rollers, but I've never actually used a foam roller yet. I need to try that out. I know Sammy from Unicorn Dust Design swears by them, but here I've got some more of my tools, my staple guns, my drills, and my hammer, that sort of thing. I have my Dremel in here, and I've got my steel wool and my sandpaper. I have not used my Dremel yet on a crafting project. I need to add that to my list. My miter box and my soldering iron and some jewelry making stuff. Some of this is still a little bit random. I need to kind of figure it out, I think. And over here I've got all my Cricut supplies. So this is my light box. I actually have my water slide decal paper in here. I'll probably move that because I do have an extra open drawer on the other side of the island that could go in. I have a couple of shirts for crafting as well as my heat press mats. Here I have my mug press and some of the items that I can use with my Cricut infusible ink. I also have my infusible ink markers in there. This is all vinyl. In here I have my little rotary tool for my make block laser cutter that I still have to figure out how to use. The rotary tool, that is. I've already tested that laser tool itself. And then I've got my Cricut Joy, my heat presses, my infusible ink, my smart vinyl. I'm not going to open all of these because I'm sure it's going to get tiresome rather quickly. Moving away from the island for a second, this is my little desk area. So I've got another one of these little drawer units with my desk. My printer is here with my laptop. I have my sewing machine, but I still need to fix it. I promise I am going to be sewing in the near future because I have some projects in mind for that. I just have to fix the sewing machine because I had a problem with the tension with the bobbin and it got all jammed up in there. So I need to try and get that fixed. I might be giving a shout to my friend Indiana Jones because I know her brother repairs sewing machines, so she might be able to give me some pointers. But this is my utility wall, and I showed putting this together. These come in all different sizes, and so you can really configure your utility wall however you would like to have it. And then they've got these great hooks that can clip in wherever you want on the utility wall. I have some longer ones, and then I have some shorter ones. Actually, that's the short one. This is a longer one, but you can see I've got all of my Dollar Tree signs on here. I have some working wreath forms. I've got a finished project that I started pulling apart a little bit. I've got all of my stencils hanging up over here and some other random items for crafting as well. Then I have this great door unit, and it's holding all of my papers that are in rolls. I've got some extra transfer tape rolls there. And then this is actually what I have on my island. It's called Better Than Paper. I picked it up at the Hobby Lobby, and it is heat resistant, and I can wipe it down, and I've really been liking it. I think it was something like $16 for the roll. I want to say I can't remember how long it was. I wanted to say it was like 15 feet, but I could be mistaken. But it's been doing really well for me, and it's easy to cut into the portions that you need. But I love how, again, these are all modular. And I'm just realizing I could cover these. I didn't think to do that. They have this great stuff at the Container Store that you push right down into these little grooves, and it actually ends up making your uprights look like this. So it's nice and finished. So here are more of the shelf units. Over here I have all of my Chalk Couture things. So I've got all of my pastes and my transfers, and these little bins I actually got at the Dollar Tree, and they're nice and solid, so they're really great to hold all of my pastes, and they fit perfectly inside my drawer here. Here I have all my Chalk Couture cutouts that I have to work with. I've got what I refer to as blanks. This one I actually picked up at the Hobby Lobby, I think. Yes. I got this one at the Hobby Lobby for, it looks like $5.99 when I was there recently. And then the other are actual Chalk Couture. And then I've got an empty bin. So I've got some room to grow, which is great. I've got the latch hook rug things. I'm not planning on using them for rugs necessarily. I haven't decided what, or maybe I'll use them. I don't know. We'll see what I'm going to do with them. I have a pillow form, I've got fiber fill in here, and then I've got a whole bunch of fabric, sewing odds and ends. And here I've got a bunch of my candles that, I've got a couple of actual tea lights in here, but most of these are battery powered or rechargeable. I have all of my stickers, and then my rub-on transfers. So lots and lots of stuff here. I have my glass beads and my sea glass and some trivets and things like that. So all of this stuff is largely glass. So I've got my vases, my candle holders, things like that. And here I've got my chargers and mirrors, and here I've got all kinds of trays and pizza pans and cake dishes and things like that. all of my little wire baskets, my burner covers that I like to craft with, all kinds of things in here. This is one of those big turkey tray things. So you can see how large these drawers are and what they can hold. It's amazing. I am going to be making a clock. I've had this for over a year. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I am planning on doing that. I've got a bunch more random wreath forms and my working wreath forms down here. My styrofoam, you can see again, I've got room to grow. And then all of this is wood stuff, different things of wood. So I have, all my cutouts, and I've got my little crates from the Dollar Tree. I've got things from the Hobby Lobby wood pile, all of this, all my wood beads. These are all wood items. And here I have some of my round trays that I'd gotten from Amazon when I made the tiered tray that you all really liked. That's actually right up here so that I can use it when I'm ready to do some more minis. And here I also have my felt, and then I have all of my tags and hooks and things like that. And then this is actually my reveal wall. Here I have a couple of lights that my niece decided she was not going to be using. So thank you, Kenzie. My sister offered these up to me. And then this is where I'll have my reveal wall. So I've got it nice and lit up. So whenever I have finished projects that I'm looking to show you with the end results, that'll get staged here. And that's where I do that. More drawers. Here's my bling drawer. As you know, I don't work with a lot of bling, but every once in a while I will do something with some sparkle to it. And most of this is from my sweet subscriber, Rose. So another shout out to her. So thank you for all of that. And I have cork and magnets and all of the lids to my mason jars that I've used that I haven't figured out what to do with the lids yet. So a blank canvas, some book covers from books that I've used for other things. I've got in here some more Dollar Tree kind of toys and things that I plan to do stuff with. Feathers are in there as well. A bunch of empty drawers to grow into. I have my gift bags that I plan to craft with. And then floral remnants. I'm always pulling apart my floral picks. So these are a bunch of the little pieces that I've crafted with or have pulled apart for other things. And I can kind of dig in here and find little bits and pieces when I need them. Same thing with my greens. So I've got all my little leaves that are left over that I can dig in and pull from. And I've got my cotton pods in here as well. My floral foam and my moss, and it just goes on and on and on. So up here I have my Cricut and my silhouette. This was my table that I made, you guys, before I had a chance to screw the legs in to reinforce it. Rich's lab was roughhousing with Sammy and she bumped into it and knocked the whole thing over. So I gotta fix that, but it's on my list of things to do. Over here I have all of my deco mesh underneath my shelves. I've got more shelving. Obviously I still have some room to grow. This is my flower tower. This is something that I picked up off of Amazon. It was about $100. I had struggled for a long time on what to do with my florals, and this is the solution that I chose. It's not a flower tower. It is, I think they referred to it as a display rack. So you can see it's kind of got a grid pattern to it, but it is on wheels, so I can roll it around. So you can see I can get to my door to the outside right there if I need a quick escape. So that'll move quite easily. I also have all of these rolling carts underneath my wall here. This is pretty much, I do have some crafting supplies here, but this is also a lot of the projects that I've already created. Some of these probably look familiar to you. And then it'll also be considered my inspiration wall because this is what I'll be looking at most of the time when I'm crafting, or what you'll get to see if I'm doing tutorials and things of that nature. But on the rolling carts here, I have all my spray paints. I do have a lot of room to grow on these carts because I just haven't figured out exactly how I want to use them yet, with the exception of this cart. This cart, I've started to put in all of the items that I use every single time that I craft. So my paintbrushes, my scissors, I've got a screwdriver, my measuring tape, a ruler. Actually, yeah, I think I only have one ruler in there right now. But this is going to be my way of pulling over everything that I use constantly to my little workspace. And then when I'm done, I can get it all cleaned up and hopefully maintain a nice clean workspace. So you can see I've got my lights up here. I've got my camera stand. I am going to be trying a different angle with my camera. So I am right-handed, and I've realized that a lot of the time when I'm working, I've had the camera on this side and my hand gets in the way of showing you what I'm doing. So I'm hoping that by putting the camera up over here, you'll have a better view. I'm hoping. I'm still playing with it, and hopefully we'll continue to make that better. This is the camera that I normally use. It has a little flip out, I'm trying to do this one-handed, flip out thingy so I can see what I am doing. I had recorded what I'm doing right now with this camera, but like I said, it was very bouncy when I was doing it. So I am now using my GoPro and hoping that the camera stabilization will kick in and make this a little bit better experience for viewing. So for all of you guys. On this side of the island, I've got my chenille stems. I've separated them into the metallic ones and the regular ones. I have my metal baskets and Dollar Tree calendars. And you guys, I've gotten a case of these calendars, so I have so many of the Dollar Tree calendars. I think I need to do a giveaway. Leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite thing is about my craft room, and I will put you in a drawing for a calendar. We'll give a whole bunch of them away because I just need to get rid of them. Graphite paper. I've got all my scrapbook paper and my little odds and ends of papers. This is where I have all of my tissue and my napkins for decoupaging. And here I've got my glass cutter and sand and some things that I'm going to be using for another project this spring. I already have it in mind. I planned to do it last spring and I ran out of time. Here I have my shells and my starfish and some stone. This is just some random stuff. I don't even know if it's going to stay there, so I haven't labeled that one yet. But I've got my cardstock, and then I have all of my seasonal items. So Easter, spring, Valentine's Day, 4th of July. These 12 are all Christmas. And then I have my candle making supplies, my soap and bath bomb making supplies, and then those, bless you, are all fall. Rich just sneezed upstairs, but bless you. So that's it, you guys. As I said, I'm feeling a little bit spoiled, but I'm really, really excited. I am just beyond excited. So that's it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Give me a big thumbs up. Many thanks to Teresa and to Tammy for hosting this playlist. And until the next time, be well, be kind, and make it a great day. Thank you so much for being here. Take good care. Bye.